is now considered a criminal matter, in addition to the ongoing civil probe. The statement reads in part, "We have informed the Trump Organization that our investigation into the organization is no longer purely civil in nature. We are now actively investigating the Trump Organization in a criminal capacity, along with the Manhattan District Attorney." New York Attorney General Letitia James has been at the forefront of legal action against Trump's family business. Her office offered no explanation for what prompted the change in its investigation. The Washington Post points out that the danger previously posed by James's investigation seemed to be merely financial. The kind of lawsuit Trump had faced from New York attorneys general before over Trump University and his charity. Now, however, James could also seek criminal penalties. An attorney for the Trump Organization declined to comment on the matter. Trump and his representatives have repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. Joe?
Yeah, Jonathan Lemire, I've been growing impatient over the past months over leaks from the FBI and other prosecutors. Saying this, behind the scenes, we hear this or that or whatever. I've now read 437 articles about how what happened today makes Matt Gaetz' situation worse. I keep reading about Rudy Giuliani. We got used to this during the Trump era. A leak here, a leak there. They're sure to go to jail. It happened back during the Bush era. Karl Rove, as I've said before, every Friday they'd say, hey, make sure you're around to go to the TV studio. Karl Rove, this is the day. We just heard from the FBI a leak that Karl Rove's going to go to jail, blah, blah. I say all that to say this wasn't a leak. This actually was from the office. I don't know if that means anything. I'm not sure about why you announce we are now investigating him for a criminal. Do your investigation, bring the charges, or don't bring the charges. But again, this really wasn't a leak. This is the office basically saying we're looking into criminal charges against Donald Trump.
Yeah, Joe, you've made your feelings about leaks pretty well known in recent weeks. But no, this is a highly unusual statement, though, even if it comes out the front door of the office. Not a leak, but rather a planned statement from a spokesperson from the Attorney General's office, confirming that they are now looking into a criminal matter, but not just a civil one. That's not something we hear very often from offices like this, but certainly it ramps up the pressure on the former president and his business, the Trump Organization. We know that this has been an investigation that's long in the works, that some of the president's closest allies have been interviewed in the recent months, including his adult children, Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr., who have been running the business while Donald Trump was in office, as well as some of the top officials at the Trump Organization, like Michael Cohen and Alan Weisberg. So that evidence, those testimony, has been collected over the recent months. Now, what exactly they're looking at here remains, of course, somewhat of a mystery. It's the Trump Organization's businesses, it's tax procedures. These are the things that they are looking at. But to go through a criminal matter, inherently, of course, is a far bigger deal than civil. Now, whether this leads to charges or not, unclear. That certainly doesn't say that. What kind of timeline working on now? Unclear. But it's also, we know that there have been investigations from the Manhattan District Attorney, Cy Vance, the Attorney General, Letitia James, herself, former politician, longtime adversary of Donald Trump and the Trump Organization. So we will see in the coming days, weeks, months, where this leads. But certainly, at minimum, we know the former president faces some legal jeopardy coming out of office, potentially in a few jurisdictions, and it's ramping up in New York.